my fellow readers. Today I am here with my quarterly review. This will end the last quarter of 2021, so this covers everything that I read October through December 2021. This has been a crazy year. I've read more books this year than any other year, and yeah, it wrapped up the same in December. I didn't read quite as much as other quarters, but I still had like a book a day, actually more than a book a day. And yeah, wow, it's been weird. So for this quarter, I read a total of 140 books. Wow. Of course, that includes what does it include? So that does include manga, other graphic novels, novellas, short stories / novellas. It includes all of those. So with all of that literature combined, it was 140 books. And that brought my grand total for the year up to 672 books, which is unbelievable. I don't even, like, I've seen my Goodreads list, and actually I'll get to show you, but I'm going to do that in another video that just goes over the whole year. But I've gone over and like, yeah, I remember reading all of the books, like they all ring a bell to me, but it just seems like this year, one, flew by, but two, just involved a lot of reading. So before I show you everything that I read this period by showing you my Goodreads, I will first just go ahead and point out some of the highlights, my favorites. So I have like my top 5 novel books and my top 5 manga from this time period. So one book, which I will be talking about in a future video, is All of Us Villains. I really enjoyed that book, and I wasn't expecting to, like, I didn't know what to think of the book, I should say. It is like a battle royale style book where these teenagers are forced to enter this tournament, and I do mean forced, but there has to be like representatives from these main families, and they're forced to go into this tournament, battle each other to the death, and whomever wins essentially gets all of the magical power or the high magic ability for this community. I think others can still use magic, but not the way that the main person did. I don't know, it was all very like, but yeah, I couldn't put that book down. I really liked it. So you'll get another video on that. I'm not going to spoil everything else. 2, another one that surprised me was Among the Beasts and Briars. And I will be talking about this book as well. I'm thinking most of these I have or will be talking about in the future. But Among the Beasts and Briars was like a fairy tale type fantasy story. So there was this past story and the repercussions of the reality of that story that everyone thought was the truth, but was it the truth? And I'll talk about it in another video, but it surprised me. I picked it up kind of on a whim, and then I loved it. I flew through it. 3rd would be Vespertine. I very much enjoy Margaret Rogerson's books, and this was her third work. This will have at least one other book with it. It was very good. I liked Vespertine. It has like reanimated corpses and stuff. That sounds like weird, but I liked it. Number 4, which I already did a video on, is Here's to Us, because for me it was just very fulfilling to have that book 2, that sequel for the Ben and Arthur story. And then 5 is another one I will be talking about, These Hollow Vows, which is kind of good if you enjoy the fairy stories, so either Holly Black's Cruel Prince series or a Court of Thorns and Roses series from Sarah J. Maas. So either way, This one's good, but I think it stands up well on its own. And I will be talking about it once again. And next is my top 5 manga that I read during this time period. I enjoyed all the manga that I've read this time period, but there were a couple of standout BL stories that I read. One is My Love Mix-Up, which was so cute. It's volume 1, so there will be more to the story, but is essentially where a student borrows a girl's eraser and notices that there are initials carved inside of like the hot classmate, and he drops the eraser. I believe this is what the main premise is. He drops the eraser. The boy whose initials it is picks it up, notices that his initials are on it, and like gives it back. And I don't know either, because it could be his whole like character, because obviously for the English version it's translated, so I don't know if the initials were translated. I'm not sure. But regardless, he notices his name on it and is kind of like, okay, this guy has a crush on me. And then it's their interactions after that. Like, he's kind of willing to accept his crush, and very cute, very fun. And I might have to do a review of that at some point. I'm not ready yet. I kind of want to read volume 2, but it's so cute. Number 2, another BL series, I Cannot Reach You, which is about 2 friends who really seem to like each other, but don't confess and keep getting the wrong idea. And it's just good. It's like complicated but good, and you just want them to be honest with one another and end up together, but they're not good at communicating. 3 is My Summer View, which its companion book is actually coming out or has been released. I'm waiting for it. I know I ordered it, but I haven't gotten my copy yet. And I can't remember if it was postponed, because some of them have been pushed back. Again, still there's the publishing issue. But that is also a sweet story about schoolmates who connect over a love of movies, and then they like do a trip together to view spots from like their favorite. It's really cute. Number 4, I have to mention this, even though I already read the online version as it was releasing, during this time period, I picked up the print version of the end of Attack on Titan, so volume 34, and I just had to bring it up and recommend it because it's such a good series. You know, I've talked about it before, I've recommended it before, but there's so much complexity with Attack on Titan that I think when it first started, people thought it was one thing, but I think that it really became this other thing, and it's brilliant and so good. And finally, the 5th one that I'll just point out is Magus of the Library, which is so good. And, you know, just, it's good. It's enjoyable. I like where it's going. So now we'll just do a quick walkthrough of my Goodreads. And you can see all the books that I read during this time period, all 140 of them, and you can pause at any point if you want to see more about the book. Okay, so here's a look at the books that I read October through December. It starts with the Final Girl Support Group, and we'll work our way up. Some of them I have talked about, so you'll see they look pretty familiar. Dark and Shallow Lies, All's Well, Summer Suns, all of those I talked about. Some of them will be upcoming, like All of Us Villains. I will be talking about that one. Among the Beasts and Briars. Toilet Bound Tanako-kun. All of those will be getting reviews, so you can look forward to that. In general, I feel like my reading was calmer for this last part of the year. I tried to pick like more easy books that wouldn't put too much stress on my time or mind. You know, I say that and then I see like My Absolute Darling, which definitely puts stress on my mind. That is intense. yeah, I just had a lot of fun. You'll probably see, especially as December comes on, that there's a lot of like holiday themed reads, because again, I try to go with light reading. That's just going to keep me in the mood to stay calm and deal with things. I did start rereading Devils and Realist, which hopefully I will be able to do a review of that whole series upcoming, but not quite yet. I'm actually waiting for volume 6 to come in, and then I'll finish the series and we'll do a review on. Yeah. That is essentially a look at what I have read for the end quadrant of 2021. I'm very happy with what I've been able to read the past year, and I look forward to seeing what 2022 brings. So that's 1 year gone, and that's it for this video. Until next time, bye.